last week we looked at how basic chokes, right? Now we need to know to defend them. So I'm going to borrow without actually being so let's just start from close guard, just because all the chokes are pretty much more or less the same, right? You've got your basic cross collar choke. So he reaches it. This is high, and this one. Let's do the one where he goes on top, thumb in, and he pulls. Okay, good. So the thing with chokes is that if you're in this position, you're in a bit of a sticky situation, because for it to work, he has to have broken posture first. So whatever means he's there. Now I'm here, so I've got a lot of problems. It's very hard to defend when your back is down. So the first thing I try and do is try and regain posture, but not to the extent where I'm opening up for him to see what I'm doing, see what he's doing. So this is the first grip he makes with any choke is usually the placeholder. It's the anchor. It's not going to cause me pain, not unless they're crazy freaks where they can wrap around. Because I've got too much movement. Yeah, without using this hand, just try and exact the choke. Okay, it's a bit of pressure, but just put it on. My head knows nothing's happening. So you don't have to panic so much. But clearly, this is stage one. Stage two, when it comes in, you start panicking, right? So number one, if you're aware of that hand coming, number one, I need to get rid of this, and I usually do this. So I get a hand inside. Now, if this doesn't come off, and he comes in for the second one, right? I could put hands here and just try and choke me from here. It's a variation of the home alone. The home alone is this. Right, so try and choke me from here. It's pretty hard because I'm blocking access to the key areas. I do a variation of it. I'm not sure I taught this before, which is just a prayer, which is like this. Because this is very strong. This can get me out of situations. So we're going to practice both the home alone and the prayer, okay? So the first one comes in. I'm too late to get this off. I'm here. Right, the second hand's coming in. I actually feel confident I can get this off just doing this. Here. So we're going to start with this one. You can do what you like with the other hand, but this, you can't just stay here. The home alone is kind of like for you to just stay here and tough it out. But this one, this helps me to get rid of it. So this is like a, grip break. Or underneath. But the point is, I have two hands on one, and I'm creating that gap. So no matter what he does with that hand, he's not going to strangle me, because you need two pressure points here. So this is the drill we're going to do. He reaches in straight away, regarding one, and using it to push off. If you're successful, fine. If you're not, and he comes in with the second one, immediately go to home alone and ask your partner to choke you up. You should be able to hold it there. Alright? You all got that? It should work. If I see anybody passing out, then I need to do There's lots of things you can do. Most of it is common sense. I'll borrow Dean again. So it goes in for one grab. The other thing you can do is just hold on here, and see I'm using the opposite hand to block here and creating space here. He reaches in for the second one, and you can squeeze. It's very less effective, but I've created the gap here. Right. Probably another very useful one for you to do is called the phone home. Oh, no, the combing the hair. Phone home looks like that. Combing the hair is like this. So he reaches in, I grab here, and I just comb my hair, which allows me to pop on the other side. This popping on the other side is very useful. You'll see this in stand-up as well, when they stand up and they grab. And you like this. There's no strangle from here. I can feel the pressure, but there's nothing, it's a useless grip for you, right? And actually quite easy to grab off. Even if you can't grab it off, what's he going to do? He has to re-grip to get the cross-collar choke. So this is a very useful one. So you grab on, pop to the other side. If you can't pop to the other side, you can at least comb your hair and raise his hand up. This, again, we're creating a gap. There's nothing. He has to either re-grip, or if he's really stubborn, he goes from maybe underneath choke here. There's nothing. I've got, just put it on. Because I've created the gap. So now you have four things, alright? The two hands, home alone, okay? The opposite hand, alright? Which is probably less useful. I combine that with isolating the arm down here, like this. I mean, he probably wouldn't even bother going for the cross collar choke from here, because you feel that this is not useful. But if he does try, we go hunch your shoulder up. doesn't have access to your neck. See what? There's no neck there for me to grab. Probably the less useful. Finally, the one that's very useful. Pop over to the side, or if you can't pop over to the other side because his elbow's down, just hold it here. What they're probably trying to do is wrench the elbow out. But it doesn't affect the fact that this is here creating a gap. There's no choke. No collar choke. So 4 things. Can you remember them all? Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay, let's go. Coradine again. And the main problem is, if I'm defending, okay, so get this in. If I'm defending and you try to choke me, I'm not escaping. They're 2 completely different things. If I'm defending, or I could stay there for hours, and he can stay for hours, but eventually he's probably going to think of something else to do, and he has many attacking options from here. So my onus is to get out of here, right? I can't do it when my posture is broken. Yeah, there are escapes where we are very low down and more advanced, and I'm not going to show them in this class. Really, the rule of thumb is I want to get back into here, and then I start passing from here. We've covered that before. I'm not going to cover that today, but I want to get here. If I'm here being strangled or defending the strangle, I'm not able to escape. Not really. And if you join counter strangle, you're basically giving him a chance to, you're opening up. That's not how you. We talked about this, James. That's not when you do it. When you're being strangled, you don't strangle back, right? That comes from a surprise, launch into it. So, what I want you to do is focus on, you get the choke, you're defending, so he's thinking maybe I'm going to carry on with the other side and choke you. And as whatever method, I'm using the hair comb at the moment, and the prayer, and we're getting back here. And you have to stay here. Now he has to reach and try and choke you again. You're not going to get choked, because I'm here. It's very hard to reach here. We're going to go back down again. He's going to choke you, and you use a different method. Oops, sorry. We're going to try and get back here. And that is a more realistic way of how you handle being inside close guard. We have to defend the choke, escape from it, and get back to a good posture. And then not let him choke you again. And the way you do that is just holding here. So the Dean sits up to try and reach. Yeah, but don't give your arm so much that he does an arm lock, alright? So many things to worry about. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Let's look at another position, because gi-based chokes come from all positions, and another very common one is of course the mount. So Dean's sitting in a mount. This is mount, okay, and he reaches for a cross-collar choke. Now the difference between when I was in his guard, being subjected to this, is that we could pull it off and I could move my head and stuff. I can't. I'm so limited in how I can move because the ground is stopping me from moving backwards. And also this idea, when I can go in and pop it underneath, that's kind of out of the question because most people who with the anchor hand will rest their elbow on here, and he uses the weight and gravity on me, and I can't. So that's kind of ruled it out, which also rules out Home Alone, and it rules out the thing. It rules out a lot of things unless you catch it early. So say for example, here he reaches in, and then maybe you can catch it early. But even so, even if I'm here, he then switches to a different technique, which is to push my hand down to the ground. Now he's got Americanas from here. Okay, Americanas being where that twisting thing. So in many respects, this position is much worse for me than being caught in his close guard, just because he has all these things. So good things that if he does get the first grip, I like to lock down here, because that's available to you. Lock down here, all right. And you have to combine any escape with hip bumps, all right, bridges, sorry, before he reaches in for the second hand. Once he reaches for the second hand and does the dirty shaver choke, it's really tough to deal with that. Because remember what I said in the original one. He puts his head on the ground, and so you've got the weight, you've got gravity, and he just squeezes his elbows, and I mean, no amount of, Home Alone and all that sort of stuff will work. So if you can isolate this arm, okay, you have actually the basis of an escape. He reaches in for the choke. Now, sometimes they carry on choking from here. Now we're in the guard position. Look, I can stop doing that thing. So you're combining the first drills with this one. It's a bit harder, but it's a realistic scenario. Unfortunately, I get caught in the mount a lot. When little people bully me. So I have a lot of practice of escaping that. So he reaches in, isolates. There's, even with isolate, if I can't get this block in, I've got a little mini block here. Can you see what I'm doing here? Little mini block. Okay, so I've created space. He reaches in, lift the hips up. What you can't see is I've trapped his ankle on this side here, and I'm going to turn that side because that's the arm I've trapped. He can't really prevent him rolling over. And I'm really aggressively bridging. I'm not just sort of going, turning. I am. And then you have to keep defending. Do everything. Home around, pull off. That's the drill. It's quite realistic. You got that? Yes. Want to see it again? You want to see it again? No? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yes. So Dean is going to do an Ezekiel. If you remember last time, he gets one arm under my head, and he grabs his own cuff and feeds the through. And there's two versions. There's the sliding, like karate chop version, and then there's the fist version. Both of them are horrible. So this is how we do it. Like that, and then it comes on really fast. And the fist one is just more brutal. It just goes in and just punches my chin away. Okay. So can anyone see the commonality between these two techniques? What make them work? What makes this work? Do the whole thing again. Space. Good, and the second version. What's common between them? Why is this very hard to defend?
Because it sneaks in.
It sneaks in, yeah, there is this sort of,
It's also, you don't feel, because he's not attacking you, he's sort of,
I'll tell you why, You're alright, but the main thing is the very first move he did, which is that I can't move my head. Even the bridge and trap and rock, nothing, because he's stable. If you move my head out of the way and he just puts his forearm away, he's making a triangle, 1, 2, and the bottom point. He's very stable. Not even a triangle, 4 legs. These two act as anchor points. So he's very stable. He's got stability, whereas I have less power and strength. Whereas compared to the normal choke, if I take this out, he's got no stability here. No ability to base out, which means I have the opportunity to throw. Once he's here, I cannot rely on my bridge. So I'm in deep shit, right? So that, there is just shoulder pressure alone. That you can get a really awesome person with huge shoulders. You can get choked out from there. Please don't be a sucker for that. You have one chance to defend this, and that's to get both hands in, all right? And just pray. Literally, you're here. Okay. Now you get the Ezekiel in. So we're back to it, and you can release the grip and everything and show my face. What am I doing? Right. Good. So you're mucking around trying to get him off. He gets us down. Too late. Already, I'm defending. I know that I can't bridge him out here. I can't even hip escape. He's really stable, so I have to frustrate his Ezekiel. That's pretty much all he's got. Ezekiel. So he's thinking, sod that. But he probably won't release this arm. My objective is to now using other forms of escapes, which rely on the bottom end where you're taking his feet away. But don't worry about that. We'll do a whole mount escape section another time. Okay, so I'm looking around. He gets the base. Immediately home alone. Now try the Ezekiel. Good. And if you can, just add in a little side turn here. It just makes him slightly less stable. I'll show you why. If you put your arm here, and his back and his hips are aligned, when I turn sideways, he's slightly raising his hip. No, he's not stable. He hasn't got his, he's not stable. Which gives you space to escape. That's your aim. Once again, the drill is, he gets that stability of the forearm under your neck. You can't move, you can't bridge. You're home alone. You're frustrating his Ezekiel. Okay, he tries Ezekiel. Good, okay. And then we want to use it. I'll see my elbows. Widen the space, just turn to my side. Now don't turn too much because you can take your back from him. All I want to do is just play with his legs a bit. That's my aim. Alright? But don't do the full escape because we're just practicing out instant defense. Now, I want you to train you into recognizing, oh shit, he's got this. And he's waiting for that. And it's very simple to defend, but you've got to know. If you don't know it, you're going, oh, you don't like that. Okay guys, 1, 2, 3. For this one. A couple of rules. You don't break these rules. Unless you're so superior in skill to the opponent, even then, they would just be doing it to mock you. They would never do it on the pier, if you know what I mean. Alright, number 1 rule. Okay, when you're in someone's guard, don't try and strangle them. Back. I can't even reach for a start, but if I can, I'm compromising so much. And just do what you need to do. Yeah, look at that. Armbar coming, crack. Right? Exactly the same problem exists other way around. So, this is the mount. And this is a beginner. Every beginner who's never done any jiu-jitsu before does this. When somebody goes to mount, they go like that because they've never seen this. Good lord. You might just say armbar me on from here. Armbar me, please. I'm really inside. I'm just starting to armbar my own arm. Don't ever reach up, back in mount. The highest your arm should go is about here. Try and armbar me from here. See, here. Okay? The higher up it is, he's got a chance to rip the arm up and then he can start attacking. He doesn't even have to go for armbar. Look at where he is, he's in high mount. He's getting ready for an S mount or a high mount, he's getting ready to do something. He's got my arm. Trap my arm. I'm in trouble. It's just fine now. All because of this something stupid, which is, get off me. Right? Don't ever do that. Ideally, to be honest, hands on hips, elbows, and already he's not. The mount is not as brilliant as he thought it was. It's annoying. Same in the guard. The guard is the mount, basically, right? But he's just on the floor. My hands are here. Don't ever reach out. What's all this? Don't ever do that. So, try and rip my arms out. Same thing I'm doing. Put my hands on my hips. Okay, maybe I come up. Try not to do this. There are positions where you do this, but if I do this without creating instability, he just rips. Yeah. Yeah, he's going for a triangle, or he just rips for a Kimura style thing. Yeah, see, and so it's here, just here, just about bent on his hips. Okay, and you can protect. He starts ripping, he starts gripping and ripping away. And I'm very, very stable from here. And then we can start working our toe. Remember, we do that whole thing for another lesson. But I just wanted to show you, because it's very tempting when we're learning collar tricks to forget. Oh, collar tricks, that's right. No, don't do that. In your guard, don't do it. It's up to the person above to do it, right? And you're defending. Everyone got that? Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, that's the end of fundamentals.